Episode 392, EU updates guidance for AI in research.
The primitive forms of artificial intelligence we already have proved very useful.
AI is a golden opportunity.
How do we ensure that this technology is regulated?
The long arc of technological history is now in an extraordinary new phase.
The AI6 podcast with Joanne Sweeney.
The European Commission has updated its guidelines on how researchers should use generative AI. The update warns institutions about hidden prompts, instructions to AI systems hidden from human oversight, and flags the risks of third parties using AI tools, including AI notetakers, in research meetings. Hello and welcome back to AI6, 6 minutes, one topic, and everything you need to stay ahead on AI. I'm Joanne Sweeney, on a mission to upskill 500,000 people in just 6 minutes a day. The update from the European Commission's Directorate General for Research and Innovation is described as limited and technical. The bigger rules were laid down in March 2024 when the original living guidelines were published with input from European Research Area Forum countries and stakeholders. The most recent update adds two specific concerns worth noting. First, hidden prompts, where instructions for AI systems are concealed from human oversight. And second, the risks when third parties use AI during research meetings. Think, AI note-takers joining a call without everyone knowing. Both reflect what happens when AI gets embedded in everyday workflows faster than the organization's rules catch up. So where can researchers not use AI? The guidelines tell researchers to refrain from using generative AI tools in sensitive activities such as peer reviews or evaluations. Peer review is the heart of academic research. It's where weak science gets filtered out. If you automate the process with AI, then you undermine it. A generative AI tool cannot assess novelty or methodological appropriateness the way a human expert can, and it could introduce bias. Then there's also a confidentiality problem. Peer reviews involve unpublished research shared in confidence. If you upload that manuscript to a third-party AI tool, well, you've broken that trust immediately. The guidelines also tell researchers to use AI while respecting privacy, confidentiality, and intellectual property rights. In peer review, those three things are non-negotiable. The guidelines do not put it all on individual researchers. Research organizations should facilitate the responsible use of generative AI and actively monitor how these tools are developed and used within their organizations. Actively monitor. That means universities and research institutes need to know which AI tools their researchers are using, for what purpose, and with what data. It means internal approval processes, risk assessments, training that goes beyond a one-off short session at lunchtime, and a clear policy that tells staff what they can use, what they cannot, and where to go when they are not sure. Commissioner Iliana Ivanova said that when the original guidelines launched in 2024, generative AI can hugely boost research, but its use demands transparency and responsibility. These guidelines aim to uphold scientific integrity and preserve public trust in science, she said. But the guidelines are non-binding. They are a supporting tool. Compliance is voluntary. The EU AI Act, by contrast, is legally enforceable, and research institutions using AI in ways that affect fundamental rights could fall under its high-risk categories. So you've got two systems. One is guidance, one is voluntary, of course, and then you have the regulatory EU AI Act. The European University Institute, meanwhile, which is one of Europe's leading research institutions, has stated openly that it does not use anti-plagiarism tools to detect AI-generated content. The reason? Well, there are shortcomings in that technology, and the risk of false positives is there. Instead, the EUI relies on individual responsibility. So if you're listening to this and you work in academic research, it would be really useful to review not only the recent guidance from the European Commission, but also your internal policy and how your work also is reflected in the EU AI Act. Remember, governance without enforcement is aspiration. You need to have internal policy, internal governance, and then enforcement comes after that. The other way around doesn't really work because you're punishing people for boundaries that they didn't know they were breaking. That's it for today's show. If you're ready to turn these insights into skills, here's how I can help. Get your copy of my book, AI Playbook, on Amazon. It's the perfect companion to the show. For weekly AI strategies, subscribe to my newsletter, Human in the Loop, on LinkedIn. Or if you want to take the next big step, you can take our CPD accredited professional diploma in AI. Maybe you need something more tailored for your organisation. You can book a call in my calendar at digitaltraining.ie. Or if you work in government or public sector, go over to publicsectormarketingpros.com. If you found this episode useful, please share it with a pro that you know. And I'd love to read your comments on Spotify. And if you can, take a second to like, rate, or subscribe wherever you listen. It really helps the show. This is AI6. I'll talk to you on the next episode.